This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Great. Welcome everybody to the April 2024 COD Mission on Disability meeting. Sorry for myself being late. There was tons of traffic on the highway and I apologize for this stuff. So we're going to get right into it. We have a couple people missing. And there was somebody that was going to come for public speak named Emmett. Did that person come while I wasn't here at all? They are also going to apply to be on the Commission on Disability, so maybe they'll book it. Yeah.
How long have we been reachable for remote people?
How long have we been reachable?
Yeah, today. It's 20 minutes. I'm thinking of Stan.
Right, so I texted Stan. He didn't answer me. Jeff contacted me and said what's going on, so he knows.
I was just saying.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
So that person was going to come in person, but and they are wheelchair bound, so I'm not sure. Maybe they're just not coming at all. I'll message them. All right. So first, did you want to go first and introduce yourself? We have another speaker that was supposed to come via here, but I don't see them right now. The Registry of Motor Vehicles is going to come. But, okay, take it away.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Jeff Mastriani, the Executive Director of Easthampton Media. Angelique reached out to me last week, sent an email asking if I would be interested in coming in to talk a little bit about services that we offer for folks with disabilities. So I figured I would just come in and talk a little bit about what we do at eMedia. And I guess just to qualify, in another lifetime, I spent 15 years working with folks with developmental disabilities, including 7 years as a developmental home provider. So I am sensitive to a lot of these issues, and this is with respect to services for folks with disabilities, something that we are very serious about maintaining and working with this community as much as we can. So I guess there are two tracks, one being what we do at eMedia, which is we cover meetings, municipal meetings with our contract with the city, and we broadcast them live, a couple of them being city council and the school committee, and then everything else that gets recorded we also put on demand and broadcast on our channels as well. Over the last couple of years, we've upgraded our broadcast equipment to now include live closed captioning for city council and school committee meetings. And then the other meetings that we process and put up for broadcast and for on-demand viewing get captioned through YouTube. So, so all of that is available now. We also partnered with Valley Eye Radio, and for anyone who might not be familiar with their service, they are a nonprofit organization that reads local and national news and special interest publications, and they live stream their service. And this is specifically for folks with reading and visual impairments. And so we partnered with them in the summer of 2022. We broadcast blocks of their programming every day to include all of our local news publications, the Gazette, Springfield and Westfield papers, So that happens every day from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on channel 192. And then with respect to, our service as basically a resource for the community to teach folks to be digital content creators. We have a highly accessible facility over the Eastworks building on the first floor. All of our workstations are accessible. I think that was something that was thought of when we built our facility back in 2017. That consideration was high on the list. In fact, Stan Diamond was on our board of directors at the time. So I can say that folks with any sort of mobility issues, we have a pretty easily accessible facility. And then with respect to, digital content creation and that sort of thing, I think if, folks have the capacity to be able to manage using camera equipment and audio equipment and working with computers, we can certainly accommodate a pretty wide range of folks. We have had folks from Riverside Industries come in, generally with a support staff, with varying degrees of success, but we did host a high school student who's working with Riverside through their special ed, I should say, and then that went quite well. So, the door's open for folks who want to come in and work with us, and we would make whatever accommodations necessary to try to help as best we can.
Is there someone specific that you would contact if you had a question about?
You can contact our admin, or info@easthamptonmedia.org is always the best way to reach out to us.
Does anybody have any questions? No?
Go on. Nobody else does. I know you broadcast things on TV. I don't have a TV, and there's some meetings that interest me that are no longer automatically available online. Had you thought of posting automatically broadcasting online as well?
So our channels do are live streaming. Channels 191 and 193, unfortunately, because of some limitations with our system, given that we cover 2 towns, 192 is not live streaming, but there really isn't a lot of programming. So the meetings, anything that would go on our government channel on 193 is live streaming. If you go to our website at easthamptonmedia.org, you can search by channel.
You're talking about TV channels.
On our website.
I don't have TV channels.
But on our website,
yeah,
you can live stream any of the channels.
So I go to
easthamptonmedia.org.
I haven't managed to find that, but okay. If it helps, I want more tech help, I'll contact you later.
Certainly, yeah. But just know that all of the meetings that we cover, that basically we process and put and make available, are available on our website.
That's what I was wondering.
Watch them on demand anytime.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Did you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. I'm Bruce Homestead. I'm brand new here, obviously, and I'm a clinical dietitian by trade, so to speak.
Okay.
And I'm still active in doing that. And I have a paramedic besides. So I have 5 hospitals in long-term care. So, and working with Paralympians and things like that. So I have a strong involvement with the disability community as well.
Great. And we have a meeting with you tomorrow
Yes.
with Eli. Great welcome, and I appreciate you volunteering. Is the RMV? No one's on there, right? No one's trying to come in anywhere?
Nope. The only people online are the Riverside crew.
Okay, so no fan either.
Right, no fan.
Did you want to go?
Yes, thank you. Omar Gomez, City Council President. Just want to give you an update about the ordinance that this commission asked for. Control Sarah and I were working on it. We contacted the state to get some guidance. We're still waiting for them for the language and proposal language from the state. So that way we don't violate any rules to the businesses. We're waiting on that. We're expecting to have that language in place and submitted to the council by next month. So we'll show you, as soon as we have all the language, I will bring it back here, so you guys can take a look. And we'll invite you to the full council, that way you can speak in favor of it.
That's on Wednesdays.
Yeah, usually the first and the third Wednesday of the month. But I will give you a heads up when we're gonna submit it to the bank.
Okay. And when you say the state, like, what is
the disability commission from the state is giving us a hand.
is that Jeff Dugan? Or, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Still nobody?
Still nobody.
Okay. So do we have a quorum? We do, right? 1 for 5.
Bryce is here.
Okay. All right. So for the people that had been in the meetings before, we just need to approve the minutes from February and March. So anything that was missing, now would be a good time to let me know. Not, can somebody approve the minutes for both of those months?
Aye.
I
All right. You're all approved. So are you okay with the minutes going in as they are?
had thrown my notes away just before, so.
Okay. All right. That's okay. Okay. Do you have anything to bring to us, or are you just being a good guy and showing up? Nothing new?
Nothing new from planning said right now.
Okay. Do you want to introduce yourself again? I might have you do it a couple times just because new people. So.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Dylan Maxfield. I'm an associate planner here with City of Easthampton. So I'm here to help support the board in some ways that we're still kind of figuring it all out. But glad to be here with you folks. And if you have questions, always feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you. And so we're still missing Stan. Nancy's not here. Is there anybody else we're missing?
Not that I can think of.
So usually the people that are on there are actually here, so it feels a little more full. And we usually have one person that comes over the computer. What?
I mean, he might not have noticed a text or anything if his focus is on this.
Yes.
We were over the 15 minutes, so.
Well, usually he messages me. So sometimes,
Okay.
because he goes to a lot of meetings, he thinks it's a different day. So that happens sometimes, which is totally fine. Let's see.
Angelique, just so you know, for your last email, the agenda said the 11th, the email header said the 24th.
No, it's April of 2024, not April 20.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I was confused. I
I'm
guess
so
that,
sorry.
whatever.
I will make it more clear.
Oh,
Okay.
probably so. Don't worry, be happy.
All right, so we have the update. Oh, so there was something new I wanted to talk about. We've brought it up in the past. December 3rd is World Disability Day. And I was wondering if, even if it doesn't happen this December, if folks would ever want to put together something. We talked about it in the past about celebrating like diversity and doing something once a year on a special day. Anybody have an opinion on that, or like what we could maybe do?
I don't know.
About what?
If it's anything on the actual 3rd, that is my daughter's birthday.
Oh, it's also December, so it's cold out. So like,
Yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
I
it
was
could be an
thinking.
indoor, I'm looking for ideas on who we could invite or what it might look like. That's from whatever, so it doesn't look just like I have a bunch of businesses in a room.
Is there any project that could be in the works that could be announced or something like that?
We do have some projects that are on hold because we don't have,
No.
until we have, right, people that are able to help us. So yeah, that definitely, there's a panel about PTSD that I'm planning on doing.
I was saying there's been a lot of discussion before we started seeing this. There's been a lot of discussion generally about access, wheelchairs, pedestrians around the, and I'm going to get the names wrong, but they've got around the new plans for the intersections here and up at Union and Main.
Which the person that was coming for public speak, they wanted to talk about all of this, so they're not here though.
My question had been to Eli earlier. Did we ever, sorry, because I wasn't here, but as the commission, did we ever get a look or a consult on these? I mean, because I'm sure they are technically compliant with ADA, but the difference between that and the reality, speaking only as a relatively slightly disabled person, is because there's been a lot of people saying wheelchairs won't get through, pedestrians it's not, those issues. And somehow I suspect that, so that was one question.
So this is separate from what to do on a celebration day. You're talking about this.
It reminded me because making something local, I don't think that's going to be sorted out by next December, sorry.
But so that's just there, like if we had something somewhere else.
It's here, it's part of the, apparently it's part of the Main Street plans.
Right. So you're saying don't do something in December because the construction will be done?
That's a separate issue. If you have it a day or night, that impacts my personal ability. But I'm saying if there was some way to hook it into issues of getting around, which have been, or
Right.
which you can't celebrate, is something that a lot of people will be, or tuning into, will probably still be, well, everybody in the city has it. And unaccessible.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can you say it one more time? Because you're saying not to have something because
No, something to be relevant.
there.
And I don't have a hook because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Other than the issue that who's been saying that only space and wheelchair wouldn't get through it all.
Right.
But I don't have specific.
So this wouldn't be dealing with any issues in town. This would be like
You just want to.
celebrating different diversity. Like,
I was trying to think.
yeah, we wouldn't be dealing with any town issues or anything. Sure.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. This is said to be helpful. People.
Okay.
Angelique?
Yeah.
I'm just planting the seed, but how do you think like a disabled dance group would play at the Marigold?
That would be so fun.
Wouldn't it? Like, you know, something like that, that's not like speakers we have to organize, but we could like sponsor a performance or something like that. That seems like a cool space to be receptive. And you're pretty plugged into like the dance community, or it could be musicians too. It could be musicians too, but I don't, I'm not connected to anyone or don't have that much knowledge, but I know of the existence of stuff. And I bet there's, between New York and Boston, there's gotta be some established performers within a couple hours that would probably make the trip.
That would be great. Yeah.
Can I just say I think that's great. They also exist in the circus world. Whether there's any on the East Coast or just, I've seen performers literally in wheelchairs and who are disabled. And it's my daughter who works in that field.
Oh, so. Stan just called, so I'm going to call him back.
Yeah.
What about a walker?
Walker.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of dance groups and a lot of performance groups will have people with mixed disabilities.
Okay, with walkers?
Yeah, probably walkers too.
Okay,
I think we'll watch some stuff. Actually, let's watch some stuff this afternoon. That could be interesting. I'll put some stuff on the smart board this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Stan called. I called him back. He's not answering. So. There.
All right, I'll walk out.
All right. So anything else on that issue? I'll keep bringing it up because the projects take time. Who knows if we would get anything done by then?
Can we show them films, videos, have a screen? I'm just thinking, I've seen a few fantastic circus or acrobalance circus stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing. I don't know.
Yes.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
While I'm thinking of it, can you all actually introduce yourself to Bruce here? Because
Louise Jacobin, I'm fairly new on the commission.
I'm Eli Damon. I'm the vice chair of the commission.
you just introduced yourself, so.
Riverside crew, can you introduce yourselves?
Jeff Brown, employment CBDS specialist at Riverside, and I've been a voting member of the commission for like 2 years.
Marissa Point, and I've been a member of the commission for
2 years as well. We officially joined at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm Kara, and I'm not sure if I joined or not.
You're visiting. You're thinking of it. You're welcome to keep joining as a visitor. If you come down, or either way, let Angelique and I know, and we'll help that process.
That's right. Okay, so the other email I sent out was about recruiting new members, and it's at the farmers market or River Valley. That's what it is. So I know that's hard because a lot of us have our own capabilities. So then that's difficult to go sit somewhere for an extended amount of hours. But if you're ever interested in doing it, just let me know and I'll try to set something up. I think we have 4 openings. And the reason I keep bringing up recruiting is because these projects that we want to do, they take a lot of energy, right? So in order to get them done, we have to have people that have different skills or available time that not all of us have. So I'm going to keep talking about it. And if you have ideas for recruitment, you can let me know.
Are you looking for specific experience or talent or anything?
No, we're not allowed to do that. No, it's just sort of like whomever. The rule is that a certain number have to actually have disabilities. So
Really?
yes, yeah, which we can't ask about either. So we have to just be like, it's kind of an unspoken thing.
I think technically I do because I have a access thing.
The
for my
placard?
card.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that counts. It's interesting because you're not the first person that on this commission who was not sure if they had disability.
you're talking about
But-
more general access. I think that's
Better do that.
I know.
Yeah.
Age and disabilities. And there's a lot
Yeah.
of things who don't identify problems. And I mean, I feel embarrassed every time I talk here because I haven't had anything all my life. I mean, relatively to most of my
Still count, even if it's caused by age, it counts.
Do they have to live in Rome?
No. You just have to have some like work here or some association with it.
You can't see them.
Love it. Okay. I'm sorry, you have three.
Collect.
Okay. Is there anything that you have in the works for the town that like eventually might come through here? ADA wise or anything?
Well, we are going to be having a 40B application coming to the ZBA relatively soon.
Okay.
For those who are
What's
not
that?
familiar with 40B, Mass General Law has a section in there called 40B, which relates to affordable housing.
Okay.
So there's going to be what that process is. It's also known as a comprehensive permit, where every town, municipality throughout the state has its own zoning bylaws, things
Right.
like that. This section of Mass General Law allows for developers to propose affordable housing and do it in a way where they can ask for broad relief from local zoning to do so. This process is known as a 40B or a comprehensive permit.
Okay.
You might hear them referred to the same ways. So in this regard, where typically it's dealing with people with affordable housing.
Yeah.
There's, certainly also some overlap there as well, where you'll see people with disabilities applying for affordable housing, things
Right.
like that. So this is going to be something that's going to be coming to the ZBA. It's going to be on 385 Main Street.
So is that zoning
Sorry,
board of
the zoning
appeals?
board of appeals is going to be. Sorry, all the lingo I'm.
We're learning.
So that's going to be coming to us. This might be an opportunity where if the commission would like to weigh in on this process of things, they might like to see the way that this process typically works. If a town has less than 10% of its housing stock as, certified affordable by the state, then you lose a protection of what's called safe harbor, which essentially gives municipalities the ability to deny these permits.
Okay.
Easthampton is below that threshold. We're at about 7%, which
Okay.
essentially means if we were to deny a special permit, it could be appealed. It's appealed to a special body called the Housing Appeals Committee, specifically to handle these. And overwhelmingly, denials are overturned there.
Okay.
That being said, this is also what's known as a friendly 40B. The mayor and the council solicited, you invited these people to apply.
Right.
I say all this to let people know that this type of process, it's more or less, in a lot of ways, a foregone conclusion, because even if the town says we don't like it and we deny it, it would be overturned in another appeal.
Okay.
And essentially in doing so, the town typically just loses its ability to put conditions onto the project, and essentially some separate body handles the whole thing. It's in the town's interest typically when you handle these to find a way to make it work.
Okay.
That being said, the town does have the authority to impose conditions that they would like to see. The idea is it's supposed to be supporting some general need, and there could be an area where the commission, if they wanted to, weigh in to say, hey, we'd like to see perhaps X, Y, and Z considered in the project to make it more accessible, or to even review the project and say, we like this, we want to increase this project, we think it's good, we think it supports people with disabilities in the community. Something that we've got coming up, so it could be a good area for the commission to weigh in on if they'd like to be involved.
Thank you. Of course.
I have a question because it sounds good, but I've been slightly involved in affordable housing and without being able to place these. You're talking much, what percentage, if it's a development, if it's more than a single landlord, what percentage of affordable housing should come under this?
So what percentage is being proposed in this specific project? I believe this one is 100% affordable. This is a completely affordable project that's being presented. As a 40B project, it doesn't have to be 100% affordable. I think the criteria is if a for-profit developer wanted to come in and build, luxury condos, they could make 25% of them affordable. And then they would be saying, we're getting this broad relief from zoning. We don't have to do X, Y, Z, any of that. We're doing it this way. And that's typically what would be referred to as a hostile 40B. Maybe the town didn't necessarily want this kind of large scale development, but it's in a position where it can't say no. And that's not what we're having coming to us. We're having a friendly 40B. This is, I believe it's the Valley Community Builders. I can't quite remember the name of the group offhand, but they're people who they're a nonprofit whose whole job is about building affordable housing, where typically you might see affordable housing done in a way where you have the affordable housing being offset by typically for-profit units, where in this case, their typical business model is they put in the work to get grants from the federal government to essentially say, you have people who can afford maybe like a program that says you have to pay, it's 30% of whatever your income is. If you have somebody that's very low income, maybe making $1,000 a month or something like that, it would cap what they would have to pay at like $300, and then through this federal program, it would make up that difference and then pay whatever that affordability rate is, be it 50% the market rate throughout the town, or 60, 70, 80%, anything that has to be at least 80%. Otherwise, it's not considered affordable. 80% of the average median income is kind of where that rent is being set at. So that would be kind of what we're looking at with the project that's coming to us. It's in that way of typically they're working with grants and funding to make the margins that they need, as opposed to trying to offset it with higher end luxury kind of condos where you're building 50-foot tower and saying, well, hey, nobody likes it, but 25% affordability, so we're doing it. So we're not getting that kind. We're getting one that it is going to be 100% affordable. So really creating a lot of affordable units here in town.
Wow.
So where is that going?
385 Main Street is where it's going to be proposed. Yes, it's still, right now, it's still at the project eligibility phase. That's where they're still getting everything approved by the state to say, yes, this is, a certifiable project. You can now apply under comprehensive. That stage, that should be resolved relatively soon, and then they'll be applying to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and you'll likely hear about it. They're typically bigger projects, so that's where we're at now.
Great.
So be ready for that, and then we would I think it would definitely be very good for the community if this commission wanted to give feedback on the project as well.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Stan, welcome.
Thank you. Sorry I was late.
That's okay. Things happen.
I have a thought about the affordable housing.
Go ahead.
I don't know. In terms of the location, I tend to view everything from the lens of walkability and availability, ability to navigate without a car. And that location kind of stinks for that. So what's going to be done with transportation and stuff like that? I know that there might not be an answer right now, but that's really, if I was to focus thinking somewhere around how to design new construction projects intelligently in a way that would benefit the disabled community, I'd definitely look at, what's being done to supplement the livability of the location beyond just the dwelling unit. Because that's huge for quality of life and particularly for those with disabilities.
Can I just say, and talk to the PBTA?
Yeah, PBTA sucks. So what's going to make it not?
Spicy.
Nashawanic is not livable for people. There's a bus every hour or so that stops beyond the time that people want to, that stops before the time that people might want to be in their house. So I guess PVTA could be part of the solution, but it's not. I don't like the idea that people say, "What about PVTA in terms of Easthampton?" Because it's barely viable, and yeah.
Sorry to raise it. I mean, I'd like to take them over and whatever. I mean, it's so frustrating and.
Yeah.
But it's this.
So we're talking about transportation sucking.
We're talking, yes,
To be
access
clear.
to get anywhere. Access to get
Yeah.
anywhere. My driving is limited. My life is totally restricted because of the lack of public transportation.
Got it.
It's probably a senior more than but it overlaps.
We should put that transportation on the agenda for next month. And you were just saying that 385 Main Street, not accessible in general, really far away. With no
Yeah.
access,
More or less.
limited.
More or less. It would be nice if hey, there'll be all these additional people that living in town that might be more likely to have transportation barriers than other sections of the population. Let's use this as an opportunity to really examine how to improve this in a way that will benefit a community as a whole. I mean, we already built the school in an awful location in terms of that. And I just feel like it's a real. We should just always be looking for ways to do better as a community. That's it.
I like that. Eli, is there anything that you wanted to talk about or share that we didn't get a chance to?
I can't think of anything.
Stan, is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Nope.
What about at Riverside? Anything else? We went off on 10 tangents already.
I was thinking of how they gonna work doing that.
Doing what?
Doing what we guys talking about.
Affordable housing.
Yeah.
I think they're still planning it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did you want to talk about the intersection at all?
Oh, yeah, I want to talk about the incident over here.
Okay.
About how we over
From
here,
Riverside.
by Riverside, and
That's
And
why
besides-
we couldn't get here today.
then we couldn't go over there because there's a lot of. Go ahead, John. I you keep going.
I think you're doing good.
No, I'm going to go right there. Take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, Kara, did you want to add in?
Are they still working over there? Or
Yeah.
why couldn't,
Yeah, working over there.
Yeah, and
or why couldn't we get over there?
I mean, now it feels like the crew isn't directly out there, but they certainly were yesterday, and it was a gigantic hole. And
Okay.
And I'm not following your home. Thank you very much.
yeah,
No.
we've had, you know,
Yeah.
We had a lot of problems with that sidewalk.
yeah.
So there was somebody that was speak. Their name is Emmett. They are applying to be on here, and they did say that they were having trouble moving around in their wheelchair with the construction. And with when people have complaints like that, Eli, can we put them in touch with the person that, what is it, Dan
Murphy, the city engineer.
Yeah, like is that a thing that he listens to?
He
Or like can just forward them on to Dan Murphy?
he said he'd be happy to hear from people.
Got it,
So,
okay.
so yeah.
If I may interject.
Yeah.
So
Interject away.
technically, yes, Dan Murphy is wonderful at being responsive to really anybody in the community. The issue is today is Dan Murphy's last day. He's leaving the city. So unfortunately,
All right.
he will no longer be the person to contact. We're going to be doing interviews, with HR as soon as they can
Okay.
to get people in for that position. So we hope to have a new city engineer soon. But right now, Dan Murphy, yes, will unfortunately no longer be with us.
Okay. Yusuf,
Engineering,
Do we have one?
an engineering department. Yep. Well, we have.
When we read like the Department of Public Works or whatever, I keep looking at all the lists. Go on.
We have. I
if I
don't know her
come-
last name is Diane, but Easthampton.
So if Dan is not here,
right.
Second question, yeah.
Yep.
What's his name?
he's not.
Just one moment here.
And who is the actual city planner? If you're the assistant, right?
Associate city planner. So we have our senior planner right now is Jamie Webb.
Okay.
And we currently do not have a director.
Got it.
So
Okay.
Jeff Bagg was our director. He is departed from the city. They're currently in the interview process. We hope to have a director relatively soon.
Okay.
But at the time being, we do not have a director. And just kind of the breakdown of who we have in planning, just that structure. So we have a director who's, kind of head of everything, starting projects, soliciting projects, that sort of thing, just general direction of the planning department. Then we have Jamie Webb, who currently in her role, the big thing she's been working on is a community block development grant, CDBG, I think is what that breaks down to, has been kind of her priority. She also supports the historical commission. Then there's myself. My primary role in the planning department is I support the planning board and zoning board of appeals and facilitating those meetings and bringing about those projects. Then there's also our conservation agent. She supports the conservation commission. And then we have just gotten another person into the department as well who manages who's going to be doing the CDBG grant, actually managing that and those projects and assisting with Jamie in the grant development. So that's kind of the breakdown of the planning department right now.
And so the director is also the ADA coordinator. So nobody takes that role.
So right now, I think I'm de facto ADA coordinator until we officially have somebody to take on that role.
Okay.
I'm trying to be difficult, but I'm on the city website. There's no Department of Engineering. I'm just saying, if somebody's told, because this is what I've done. This is lots of new under planning. I do engineering. So this, and I mean, he was obviously very good, but he's no longer there.
Right.
Somebody says to somebody, well, who's replaced him? How the hell?
So yeah, right now that role will be vacant. We have our assistant city engineer, Diane Rossini.
I'm asking, I'm a big one about
Right.
what's.
There's no such thing as a Department of Engineering as.
Oh, yeah. So there's not necessarily not a Department of Engineering. There's just the city engineer.
Which is under planning?
No, they would be, I would say just kind of an individual role. I guess they would probably, if I had to guess, report, I guess to the mayor would be who they
So
go
I'm talking
to.
to somebody, I say, oh, well, the guy who was
Right.
the city engineer,
Yep.
they're gonna go on the website and not find the answer, which is not your responsibility, obviously, but it's.
Does anybody else have any questions? Because we're past our time, so I have to shut down the meeting. Is there anything? Dan? Yes.
Not involved with this, but, I just wanted to report on the, meeting between the COA.
Yeah, please.
Did you already talk about that?
No, we did not. Thank you. Go ahead.
The COA went before the City Council Finance Committee to get a grant from the city to supplement their grant to make all of the parking and access in and out of the COA building handicap accessible. And they got an additional large amount of money from the city to be able to complete that project this year. So we will be getting more handicap parking in the city that will be available to people with handicap plaques.
Is it still called that? Do we all still call it handicap parking? We don't call it that anymore.
Okay, whatever we call it.
No, I'm asking.
I don't know.
Because I got caught out here. It's an accessibility sticker or something.
So accessible parking. Okay.
No, that's, I'll let you
The
know.
placard you're talking about?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because
Well, that's great, Stan. Thank you for going. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Eva and I had things we had to do, so I'm so sorry. But
No
thank you.
problem. I attended the meeting virtually, and Cindy was completely successful in her request. It was granted, exactly what she asked for.
Great. Anything else, anyone?
Nope, that's about it.
Okay, so I'm gonna make, you don't have anything, right?
No.
A motion to close the meeting. Is everybody okay with that? Thank you for coming, everyone. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.